What's up, guys? It's me again, and yeah, I was thinking about doing this since I did the same for when Team Shift Extend came out, so planned on doing it here, and that was, of course, let's bring this closer. Blaze Blue Chrono Phantasma, also known as Blaze Blue Phase 3, and just this video is basically gonna be my take on it. Well, let's see, where do I start? Because I started Blaze Blue with Team Shift, and I enjoyed that, like, loved it to death. Then I went down to Calamity Trigger, ended up getting that used, loved that, and I swear to God, I love New, and just all around, as soon as I was introduced to her, because directly after I finished Team Shift, I went on YouTube and searched up the whole Calamity Trigger story, and then I was like, okay, this happened, and then ended up playing the game for myself, and I enjoyed it. Mostly due to my experience with a Team Shift, so wasn't that different. So, well, the addition to the little analog stick shortcuts, though, that was a good added plus for Calamity Trigger. Team Shift just had beginner mode, but that was about it. But anywho, getting sidetracked it. How the Team Shift ended, and the true ending and the characters ended individual paths, and then the added stories didn't stand, and the little cliffhanger ending, I don't know what you call it, but they added a little animation, new cutscene where Ragnar and Tao traveling with Tao, and then he looks up to see the little tower, some tower thingy. I don't know what it is, and they're at Ikaria, where everybody's heading apparently. Ragnar's going there because he has something to do. Jin's going there. Noel. Well, Jin left with training with Jubei. Noel left with Sector 7 with Tager and Makoto. Tsubaki, Hazuma, Lichi, and Aurelius and Phantom, they just left with Saya at the end. There we go. Carl's going there to probably find Aurelius. Mostly everybody, all the characters are there, which kind of strikes me as odd, because it was a situation where Arakune and or Arachne, I'm just good, I call him Arakune, and like how the announcer pronounced it. And thing is, when Chrono Phantasma was just announced, well, the first trailer, we see like Arakune just, wow, I'm like, is he supposed to be captured? What happened to him? And I thought Lichi was supposed to be working with, Hazuma and them, because they captured him. And because that's how her story ended. She said she was gonna help him. She was joined the library at the end. And basically, I'm just gonna go to both. Sorry if I'm spinning right now, but Makoto, Valkenheim, Platinum, and Aurelius stories, I've seen them, and they didn't add much, let alone Platinum's, because she's basically her story mode, basically like her arcade mode, where she went to go tell Bang about the Nagatoras he has, which is the nail, which I don't know why it is obvious enough, and Makoto's, hers was kind of trippy since she also went to Ikaria, found the cauldron there, and saw all the little failed versions of Noelle, and that was kind of that linked to her arcade mode too. So her and Platinum, these stories basically linked to their arcade modes. Relius and Valkenheim, on the other hand, I have no. Okay. Valkenheim's story was what? Okay, he was hinting at 9 being Phantom. It was strongly hinted that the entire thing. 9 was Phantom. With Jubei saying he was hurt with magic. Him and Hakumen both looking at Phantom saying it's her. And then Hazama discreetly saying, I'm getting the band back together. So, yeah. Phantom's 9, apparently. I don't know. And then he ended up fighting, for some odd reason, Ragnar was fighting Relius. I don't know how this ties in with the regular Ragnar's story, because Ragnar never fought Relius in his story, but apparently he did. And then this was way before he went to go get Hazama and beat the crap out of him like he proceeded to do in the true ending. But no, lo and behold, he got stopped by Relius. Valkenheim tells him to go get Rachel, who was trapped in her ending, and he proceeds to do so. So that, I guess that links up. Relius, what the F, his ending, his story was just, what the F. Relius just creeps me out. I'll tell you that right now. He creeps me out more than Hazama. I swear, whenever I hear Plastic Knight, I'm just creep the F out. I freak out. And not Endless Despair, not Gluttony Fang, no. Plastic Knight. That is, oh my god. I have no idea what he's thinking most of the time. Him, like Hazama, yeah, because the dude's a psychopath. Relius, he just doesn't know. He's a scientist. Yes, I said it. He's a scientist, and he just wants to build a perfect human being. He sees everybody's objects. His view is that distorted, and his ending ended up him finding Carl. And then him talk about the true essence of what, a Nocturus or somebody. He was really pushing his ideals on Carl. It's kind of creepy. And then along the way, he finally meets up with Hazama again with Mew. And then he's just unimpressed. Said what? Well, she was incomplete or something. I don't know. The two things that I believe Companionship 2 added that were actually essential to the story were the little backstory with Makoto, Tsubaki, and Noelle. About that added something. That gave more details into how they were. And freaking Architects of Sin. I swear to God, that's whoever says Kokonoe is not meant to be playable, go through that story mode. Go YouTube it, I don't know. Just go through it. That's the reason why she doesn't do magic. That whole thing right there. That's it. And about the stuff being revealed about the Nocturus Taurus, and I'm not gonna spoil it, but whatever. It's gave details to the Nocturus Taurus, when she found Tager, what she did to Tager, and what Arakune before he wanted to have a little inferiority complex. Anywho, that's the rundown of Companionship. here's Chrono Phantasm, and first off, I'm talking about the trailer. The trailer was it showed off a Maninitsky, whatever, and his I don't know. Everybody's calling him fabulous. The dude looks pretty darn fabulous, and he's just. When I read his story, is he's trying to get Carl to join him. That's kinda I don't know. He's getting off the pedophile vibe more than Ragnar. So Ragnar is hilariously true because of the people he hang around with, but him, I don't know. I just not to mention he referred to he thought Noel was a cross-dressing what girl boy. Yeah, he thought it. I don't see it. Bullet. She has a history of Sector 7. The main thing I noticed, and I think I had to freeze it like in the opening movie, but she has like literally the same eyes and a scar by her, just like Bang. So I don't know how to take it. Like, is she from Ikarga? Is that because she's a mercenary? I'm like, yeah, we get that, but it's uncanny. The same eyes, same scar. Just they both have scars across their face. I'm surprised nobody knows that. Like, they have scars in people. And her drive was, what was it? Just grabbing, burning up, heat, something. It was kind of interesting, and I plan on playing this Bullet. Azrael, he's just, oh my god, he's reeks of intimidation. He's from Sector 7, and he just basically exploits weak points. I don't get what that does, but he exploits weak points, and I don't really know. And another thing I noticed about the trailer, and something I tend to call it overthinking this much, but whenever I get new info on something, I tend to, or a trailer release for something, I tend to digest the trailer to every little tidbit of it, which I did exactly with when the first Chrono Phantasma trailer came out. Downloaded, opened up, and went on me as player, paused at certain intervals, and just kept going from there. And near the end of the trailer, you hear Hazma talking, and then it distorts to a picture of Hazma above, like, and Ragnar's down, which is signified they probably have like a fight, and then it didn't know with like a freaked out Kokonoe, and then Amon Niski, he was in there, and Bullet looking at the sky, and Azure like gathering like this dark energy around him, and then Noelle. I thought it was Saya at first, but it ended up being Noelle, and she was just dazed. And I'm like, is that Saya? And then as soon as they released the Mew and New info, I saw the picture again. I'm like, I didn't know that was Noelle. I thought it was Saya, but it's like that. And I think it was. Then they had another picture of Ragnar with his back turned again, like how the same picture Noelle had like in Calamity Trigger when Ragnar came to save her. Like, his picture was, his back was turned to her, and all she could see was his back. It was just like that thing, like that point of view. Then it was the last scene was in the trailer was a scene between Rachel and Kokonoe, and they both facing back to back. And then zoomed in on Rachel twice. Okay. Zoomed in on Rachel twice, and then like screen turns black. I think that's in the trailer, and then you get this brief glimpse at this little gold robot thing. I don't know what the f it is, but I'm like, what the f is that? When I first saw it, I'm like, what's that at the end? Pause it, saw it, I'm like, what is this? Is this what it is? Some new freaking thing for Cosmo to use? What? And then the another thing was the opening movie was released. That also had new scenes like what, the Noel and the Mane and Bullet, they were fighting head to head for some reason. Then it froze up on Tsubaki, which some people thought it was a series, but it was Tsubaki because of the eyes, and Tsubaki's the only one with the little beads in her head. And I got some more stuff from the opening movie because it was flashing stuff, and like as soon as you go up to the tower, like I mentioned in Continuous Ship Stand, that tower, it was just flashing event words like and scenes from the Calamity Trigger Continuous Shift. And then once again I think it was near the end of the trailer, it was more pictures of what happened. Like I think what I was one of was what, Valkenheim kneeling, like Valkenheim Aurelius. I remember one being of Jin, and it was a couple more, and Bullet's little mercenary people. That too, it seemed like it was a flashback about that, and I kind of forgot the moment, but it'll come back to me eventually, and I'm just summing it all up. And like the little robot, it showed up again, but this time with Mew and New. So I'm like, really? Wow. And then because I thought they were just gonna be in there, just being there. They end up being playable, and I'm like, okay, awesome. And then and that's basically the end of the movie for me. And I think the game's gonna be alright. I will say that, even though it's been slated for late November, and we're not gonna get it till what, 6 to 8 months, and right now it's on PS3, and I don't have a PS3, 360, so reluctantly 360, and why is it reluctantly? Because there's nothing on there, and no, don't even give. I don't want to hear it. Just bear with me. It's nothing I want on there except what, Persona 4 Arena, and that's about it. And yeah, that's about it. I guess with this, I like the character art now, since I was really wondering like how everybody's gonna look, and then how everybody's gonna play. Especially my main concerns were Ragna, Noel, and that's about it. Ragna and Noel, because Ragna lost his left arm, which means no more artificial arms. Ragna, you kind of out there. You don't have no more official limbs. So, and then he ends up getting what? His size became attacked. So I was like, alright, cool. And then see Jin, and Jin was another person I was worried about, because how his story ended. He finally gained control of Yukiyansa, and he was trying with Jubei to get control of it better. So I'm waiting to see how that plays out because of how Jin is. And as far as Noelle, I was kind of concerned because she didn't when she turned to Mew, she lost Bulver, and now it looks like she got him back, and plus a shotgun, I believe. She also let down her hair, was a plus, and got a whole new outfit. So they ended up giving her a redesign. I think they said something about getting every other characters new costumes too. Because so far it's only her and Tsubaki with new costumes. Tsubaki's based off how her influence under Izio, well, under Phantom's influence, being more Zad, and continue at the end of Continuum Shift, and yeah, I don't know about Rachel though, because I love playing as Rachel, I really do. Ever since Continuum Shift, and I love playing collaborative Rachel, I just love it, because like regardless, I love Rachel regardless, but I don't want her to go through an I don't know, just not a nerf or just little miles down as possible while this guy's beating the crap out of me, like not being able to beat somebody who picks Noelle or somebody who picks Ratner or Jen. That's the only reason I say those three in general, because I have some spamming people. That's it. As far as the distortion drives go, like I like Bang's new like distortion drive. Because he finally used a freaking nail. I'm like, finally. I like. I also like Hazma new distortion. He freaking curve stomps you, and I found that to be the most awesome thing ever. And as far as mechanics go, they got rid of guard bursts and guard primes. I'm like, I didn't even use any of those because I don't believe in blocking. I hate blocking. I really do. And no matter what fighting game it is, I hate blocking. It's just not in me. I just want to fight where we could just beat the crap out of each other and then bam, winner. Not, oh, I'm gonna block, wait for you to get done, and then beat the crap out of you. No, I hate that. Having the Skull Girls, having the Blaze Blue a couple of times, it happened in what? Every freaking Naruto and Super Smash Bros. Game. I'm gonna wait for you to get done, and then I'm just gonna beat the crap out of you. The only exception I give to this is Hakumen, because he beats button mashers. Plain and simple. Just press A and then just wait for the idiot to hit you. They won't know. It's foolproof. It's foolproof. And they added overdrive, which everybody's saying, "Oh my God, it's the X Factor," because it lasts what 15 seconds. Like, oh, they're doing the X Factor thingy, and oh no, whatever shall we do? I'm saw this like, okay, they asked this, probably not gonna use as much, but never hurts, never hurts, because that's basically what they're, what's like a better word? They upgraded forms. Because Rodney goes to his Blood Cane status, and I think a couple more people do transformations or other stat boosts. I'm not going into details about it. So it's there if you want to look at it. Tao goes to her to become one special. Her distortion, whatever. And that was alright. I was like, okay. I don't see the big deal here. And then they said that it sped up apparently, and I'm like, speed wasn't really an issue with me. It really wasn't. Like, because everybody's saying it's on par with Guilty Gear now. That's what we wanted, just it to be faster. I'm like, just won't let it go. The whole Blaze Blue taking the Guilty Gear spot, huh? Like they just won't let it. It's just some people that's like that, and I'm tired. Like, oh my god, Guilty Gear is XXX times better than Blaze Blue and blah blah blah. Music is 10 times better and blah blah blah. Character, story, and blah blah blah. XXX times. Yeah. I'm just borderline. Because I played Guilty Gear first. Yes, I did. I played it. Oh my god, I still remember Eno to this effing day. And I still hate her to this effing day. And every time I see Hazma, I'm constantly reminded. Oh, my bad. Pat Verge's 1.00 Hazma. The Hazma you get when you first get Container Chef. And you have to fight him at the end of the friggin' arcade mode. He's an a-hole, majorly. Like, yes, he got the patches afterwards helped. It weakened him. He became beatable. I still beat him afterwards. And you think he was worse? Ryan was way worse. No, my bad. Hasman was still way worse than Unblade Ragnar. He just was. And Mary tops both of them. And Skullgirls, Mary tops both of them. She really does. And that's all I'm gonna say. Anywho, getting sidetracked. As far as Mew and New are concerned, I was kind of wondering, like, where's our Morikumo? And because when New died and at the end of Calamity Trigger, Lambda came to replace her, which was technically still her soul, but still her, but still. And then we got introduced to Mew, which played entirely different than her little sister, and I don't know how it goes. Is Mew older or Mew? I don't know who's older. I know 12 comes before 13, but still, I don't know who's the freaking older one is. Anywho, I'm just gonna leave that be. When they were announced, I was kind of skeptical because I'm like, how does this fit into the story? Because they translated Mew's story was translated. News wasn't. I'm like, okay, because apparently Mew came back because Noelle went to Rachel. She wanted to save Tsubaki using the power of the Adder, so she turned her to Mew again thanks to Rachel's power. But apparently, instead of the whole, if the world dies, so shall I, Mew and freaking Continue Shift, it's still the same old Noelle, and we all know and love. Well, some know and love. A lot of people hate her. I don't know why, but people hate her. Just like they'll find any reason to hate anybody. That's a general rule. But anywho, ends up doing that. I guess that was a little blue screen I was talking about earlier. And New, that was kind of hinted at the end of Continue Shift, because of like the very, very end where Hazma's saying like she rebuilt herself like over and over again through self-will, and I think Relius hinted that the 13th sample lived more than they expected, one of them. And then Hazma called her the Sword of the Imperator. So yes, New's back, and apparently the thing I'm worried about is like how they phrased it. Like, she came back Hazma retuned her as the Sword of the Imperator, and she's once again stands Arachno's way. So I take this, and they kept the same personality thingy for both. So I took this like, okay, we're either gonna get the boring cyborg or my hopes, the crazy yandere we all know and love. I'm kind of edged on the second one, cause that's what, because New became obsessed with him, and I just found it adorable, and I just have a soft spot for yanderes and tsunderes and kuderes. Yeah, yes I do. And like knew she was just out there with Ragnar. That's all the innuendos. If you don't believe me, search her up on Calamity Trigger. Just search up her whole story or Ragnar's story that leads to his fight with her. Just so many innuendos, and she's always smiling around him. Always. And another thing about the program thing, though, I don't know if they're supposed to mix together again. Like, if she wants them to form together and form the Black Beast, or is this just, I'm doing this mission just to do it. So, that's kind of out there. And, another two things have stood out for me in the Ultimate movie. The first one being the Noel and Tsubaki little intro, because apparently they have an intro now. Because if you look at the trailer, they just stare down at each other. And the second one being the Ragnar and Jin intro again. I'm like, come on, guys! It's been 3 games. Like, I don't know how they're gonna face each other. That's what I'm really concerned about. Like, I don't know, cause Ragnar's still him. He's always been him. Jin, on the other hand, he's been freaking fighting mental battles and whatnot, and trying. He's been crazy. Like, continuous shift to Calamity Trigger, continuous shift, dude's freaking psycho. Don't believe me, just take my word for it. The dude was a loony. And that's why we love him, but the sad thing is I don't know if Jin's gonna be psycho or not in Chrono Phantasm, or he's just gonna be completely sane. They're just fighting just to be fighting, like how Soul and Kai was fighting. Oh yeah, I know who those people are. Ugh. And that's it. I also want to know if there was gonna be like more little versus intros, like one for probably Makoto versus Tsubaki, and then a couple. I think it was another. It was some more I was thinking of. Or I really want to see Ragnar versus New now, just to see if she's still the same or she's just completely different. That's what I really want to verify. And at least Ragnar versus Noel or Mew again. Again, to see if anything's changed. Like how the dialogue has progressed so far. And as far as story goes, since they're all broken up to what, 3 different stories going to like all bunched up, and then like 3 different stories that, or what was it, one major story that ends up into what, the true ending? I forgot how they said the story was gonna be. But it's gonna be, it wasn't gonna be individual characters. It was gonna be all the ones you playing as this character, then that character, that, then you make your way to the true end. So that's it for that. And a lot of people complain about it. I'm like, as long as we don't get a Soul Calibur 5 experience, people, I wouldn't be complaining, because that story sucked. It really did. Because all you played was, throughout the whole game, was Prathos, Pure, and sometimes Swy. And that's about it. No, no Maxi, no Keelik, and no Shiva, no Leisha, no Ivy, no Siegfried, no Nightmare, no Hildy, no Tira, no Yoshimitsu, no Natsu, and definitely no Viola. Oh yeah, she's a part of the story, alright. Derp. What about Ezio? Derp. What about those stories we gave the characters? Derp. As long as I can't complain about Blaze Blue because the characters have stories. The characters have arcades. And that's basically hand in hand. Like, basically it. That's it. Some characters, they are arcade modes, don't match what they story going through. Just don't. The only sole exceptions were what? What was it? Jin, his didn't end up like his story mode. Noel's did, Rachel's didn't, and Tsubaki's didn't. A couple more too, but those are the ones I can actually say. Like Ragnar and Noel's did, and everybody else not so much. And I'm feeling pretty confident about Chrono Phantasma at this point, because they said they're trying to make it side playable for consoles. I'm taking that like however I see fit, and hopefully like what the little joke that what continue at Teach Me Miss Lighty, where Jubei joked about you'll see what he can do, his weapon can do in the next game. I hope they live up to it, because they said they were supposed to be closing up the entire Six Heroes thing, like all the plot holes made there, all the loose gaps just fixed right there, and that'll be interesting since we already know where I think good half are. Like we know where Jubei, Valkenheim, Hakumen, Trinity, Hazama, or Terami, and Nai. Like we don't know if Phantom's 9 and not Phantom, all that jazz, and that's about it. So that should wrap up nicely. I'm basically want to hear like everybody else's story, like main thing, because Bang's supposed to be helping Aichi and Erakune's situation, and Rotten is still feudal with Terami, and Jin and Noel trying to get Tsubaki back along with Koto, and yeah, it's just I hope a lot of stuff gets answered, and that's my take on it. So I'm done here, and what's your guys' thought on it? And do you think it's gonna be, or do you think it's gonna be like a championship stand where we just get a version, then another version ends up happening, or do you think what do you want to see get answered? That's another question too. And one last thing I could think of. Oh yeah, and how do you think the console opening version will be? Since those are always different from the Japan version, and we got some nutcases that say, "Oh my God, the arcade opening should always be the opening for the console." Nutcases. Because I don't care what people said, I like the continuous opening. Like, yeah, I like the Calamity Church opening too, and continuous of the stand. But yeah, still like the continuous opening. Though it was just pictures and anime cutscenes in the background, but that's besides the point. And basically, oh, and who you main? And that's another thing. Cause I'm already gonna try the 3 out. Amane, so yeah, he's just gonna be like my second Carl. I'm just gonna learn how to use him so I can just get people pissed when I win with him. And Voldo. Oh my god, man, we know how fabulous Voldo is. And Bullet, she looks rushed down, so she's just joining my rush down team, which consists of what? Ragnar, Makoto, Tao, and Bang. So she's joining them. And yeah, definitely joining them. And Mane, he can join Hageman, Tager, and Valkenheim. Just from his freaking looks, he gets to join them. And that wraps this video up. It really does. And thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you soon. Hope to hear from you guys soon. And I'll post up more news if possible. Since the game's coming out late November, probably even to get a good couple of videos in. So, see ya.